Oh, it's so fun. All right. So we are in week 2 of spring. I'm sorry. I think it's so funny. I know I decided to do this. I still giggle about it. Uh, so, these morning practices, I'm not trying to do anything revolutionary with these practices. I want them to actually just be pretty simple, pretty straightforward, pretty doable. Nothing that's going to absolutely like blow the mind, but you'd be surprised by what a consistent practice structured well so that we're going into all 3 floors would start to look like. So that's really what this is for. This is just really a practice to tune the instrument, to tune the bottom, the middle, and the top, so that all 3 pieces of you are working in unison together. So the more we find seated practices, the more I want you to refine also how you sit. So I have a little like one of these guys behind me in a blanket, and I'm going to try for Siddhasan. So Siddhasan is when the feet open a little and the shins come down, but Sukhasana is when the ankles are simply crossed, easy pose. And then my favorite posture for breath work is Virasana, which is a block here. And when I was first doing this, I didn't just sit on a block. I sat on a block, and a blanket. And actually, I lied about Siddhasan because I love sitting like this, so I'm going to sit this way. And I think I said last week, a sandbag is a really helpful thing to have in your home practice because you can use it in lieu of a person, right? So if you love, like when you're in child's pose, if you love when someone presses their hands on your low back, um, or in supported bridge pose, if you love when someone presses on your knees. Hopefully, I'll get to everybody with this. This kind of plays for that because a sandbag emulates muscle because it's giving weight and it's giving a little bit of grounding. Good. Okay. So come into a seat that's not just comfortable, that's also functional, so that the hips are higher than the knees. So whether that's in a chair or seated on the ground. Elevating the hips tells us that the body is 70% water and the nature of water is to descend. And as water descends, we don't want it to pool in our pelvis. We want water to have somewhere to go. And so as we get about 15 minutes into this practice, you'll start to feel moisture behind the knees, right down behind the calves, maybe even into the feet. And because yoga is a practice about drawing ourselves inward, start to close your eyes. Bring your hands somewhere on the legs or the thighs. Or you could play with Cosmic Mudra like we had been working before, where the right hand goes underneath the left hand and the thumbs meet. Good. And this is nice because it's the hand of making yourself known in the world. It's the hand of the father, if you will, and it's the hand of the mother, the heart. And this is the father, mother inside of you, one holding the other with the thumbs connecting. So just start to deepen your breath as you close your eyes, bring yourself into your center. As you breathe in, find the line of communication between your third eye, your third hand, and your third foot. Between your third foot, the piece of you that roots into the planet and substantiates you into safety and stability. Your third hand, the piece of you that connects to community, not only with others, but with yourself. And your third eye, the piece of you that is prismatic, that sees in all directions at once and that can travel and go upward and go inward and go left and right and up and down and all through the dreamscape. So that you are these 3 parts. And as we breathe here, we use the breath as a through line to put the 3 things together, to organize the piece of us that is planet, that is community, that is universal. So simply breathe in this moment as if those 3 embodied spheres, the sphere of your base, the sphere of your center, and the sphere of your crown, all of those maybe perhaps look like 3 spheres. And as you breathe, you're creating an opening and a space. So the 3 of them start to connect and merge until it's just one big circular sphere around you. And then if you're doing Cosmic Mudra, change which hand is on top just to experience what it feels like so that the heart, the mother, the left hand holds up you in the world. so that that part of you opens up to receptivity, while the piece of you that feels stable on the left holds up your work in the world. And just notice if that changes how you feel in your body. Notice if that feels interesting to your hands, to your shoulders, to your heart. And I like to start when I do these morning practices just with a simple check-in, just like this, just a piece of me checking in with my body, checking in with my breath, checking in with all three floors. Now that we know the top, middle, bottom, breathe in and find the back behind you. Anchor yourself back ever so slightly so you feel stabilized by ever so slightly leaning back. And then feel the heart move forward and around to 2 o'clock so that the heart knows it gets to sing out. And at the same time, feel the left shoulder kind of hold you on its own side, like a pole, like maybe in a martial arts pole. The two poles never meet, they find their own sides. And then feel the right shoulder. And then take a deep breath in, find your center, wherever that lands for you today, just noticing. And then exhale anyway, finding the space around you, widening out to all sides, anchoring back, pulling forward, rooting down, rising up. And do that twice more, just a breath to put you in the middle of your past, your potential, your heart, your world, your seasons, your 24 hours, your waking and sleeping. And then take those open palms and open them up to the sky above you, making a V. And this V is like the V for victory, the V for I'm going to wake up, I'm going to open up my windows, I'm going to be victorious, I'm going to see my potential in front of me while I know that there's a bottom anchoring me into the planet, while there's a center finding my capacity and my community, and there's a top open and available crown chakra energy, right? Like letting the seeds drop in, paying attention. So an open palm, an open imagination allows and invites us to be more than just someone doing today. It allows and invites us to be someone also receiving information, not just preparing our mouth to speak, but also using our mouth to listen. Using our whole body as a receptive container for grace when it decides to rain down. And if you'd like, as we count out our 100 Kapalabhatis, you could count them 10 each finger, finding one mudra along the way until you get your thumbs up and then coming back to an open palm. So it goes pinky finger first, then ring. Here we go. Take a deep breath in about halfway. I'm going to pump out, 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 out. Keep going. Good. So keep pumping your breath away. Every 10 pumps, find a new finger so that maybe you're not even doing it. It doesn't matter how you're doing it right now, just shifting which finger you're touching so that every 10 pumps, you're making a new contact. And every time we make a new contact, it changes the communication. Good. Changes the dialogue. And simply by holding the arms up overhead, we're really opening ourselves up to what's in front of us, to our potential. Knowing that in springtime, the light increases and we've hit the midpoint of winter. So we've hit Imbolc or the midpoint or the cross quarter of winter, meaning that we are tipped now towards spring. So that there's less winter now than there is spring. We're past the halfway point as per yesterday, or the second, I think, actually. Good. And so you're just pumping away and you're imagining that every time you pump up, the breath is going up and out through the top of the head. So this is called skull shining breath, Kapalabhatis. And they're whipping your belly in and out, massaging the diaphragm, massaging the gut. And it's also making an effort to hold yourself up, to hold yourself open to the line of communication that can rain down towards you. And knowing that grace is given freely, but a piece of us is always creating a little bit of an effort to not only be the containment for grace, but an effort to survive on the planet, to be here, to live. Good. Stay here for about 20 more. 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And then as you exhale, swoop your arms down so the right hand goes underneath the left hand. You can either hug yourself or you can find your eagle wrap arms. Once you find it, you can go back and forth a couple of times, just warming this up. You can play left and right. You can punch up and back to open up the back of the heart. Coming back down. Good. And then find something that feels a little bit more like a back bend. So you're going to punch up and turn your head ever so slightly to the left. And we'll just do about 50 Kapalabhatis here. 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Keep going. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. Lower your elbows down. Grab elbow, elbow as you release the eagle wrap. Hold your arms up as you inhale. And exhale, lower it down. So this is very functional to just open up the window, open up the vision, open up the potential body. We've been sleeping, so we've been in the back body, we've been in the dream space. Good. We've been up in the left part of our mind, having the sleep, having the dream. And now we're kind of opening up the dream, opening up the vision, opening up the capacity to be in the body, opening up the ability to also still plug in at the base. Good. Once you're at the top, take a big breath. Exhale, stay, and you're just going to left, right. It's to be very small. Inhale, left, exhale, right. Just to start to open up the twist. And this is really for spring, right? A piece of us is always working for spring. Our ability to rise up, our ability to use the nutrient-dense soil that hopefully we all have in our bodies and let it help us grow. Good. Come back to center. Take a big breath here. Reach your arms up to the sky as you inhale. And as you exhale, swoop the left arm under the right this time. Hold either that eagle wrap, and it can be the thumb or a fist, or it can just be a hug, right? And then you're going to inhale, exhale, just start to find a little bit of space. You can draw some circles with it. This also opens up the back body, the space behind the back, behind the heart. In Taoism, the sea of forgiveness, that space behind the back. And then find center, turn your head a bit to the right. Throw your fist up and back or your hands and pump out about 50 Kapalabhatis. Out, 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 out. 20 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath here. Inhale, inhale. As you exhale, let the hands come down. You're naturally now holding the opposite elbow. And then open it up and close it down. That's just a transition that I love. I use it all the time when I teach. It's so, so, so intuitive to go from eagle wrap to making a frame. So I like to play it a lot so you guys know it because it's really, really, really nice when you're doing like a humble warrior and you're in eagle wrap, then to bring people to holding a frame, then to hooking the thumbs. Good. Take it all the way up. Exhale, stay. Inhale, right, exhale, left. So now play for the opposite. Now, if you have a tendency to like pop your chest and pull your arms way back, I'd invite you this time to pull your biceps right by your ears so that it's not too much. You're still finding the lumbar curve. You're still finding the cervical curve. But a piece of you is not over efforting in the upper body. A piece of you now is focusing on the low body. Take a big breath here. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And this time, cactus the arms down, let them fall down behind you. You can find your hands behind you and knit them together just for a moment of stretch as you inhale, punch, 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 open the front of the chest. Good. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your knees. Hold on to your knees. Take a big breath in. Exhale all the way out, all the way on your exhale. We're going to hold this. We're going to play with Uddiyana Bandha. So exhale, 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 exhale. If you have to, blow out, 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 out. You're leaning forward. You could even have your fingertips on the ground. Out, 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 out. And you're then going to, once you're totally empty, you're going to pull your belly in and up. You're not going to have to pull it. It's just going to naturally get tugged in and up. If you want to whip it here, like forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, you could. And then to come out of it, I want you to press the belly out. Take a deep breath and come back. Good. We'll do a couple of those today. If you haven't had your morning movement yet, this might feel a little uncomfortable, but it also will also help you do that. So hands to thighs or hands to knees, cat-cows. Inhale, exhale. Good. The first stuff where we open it up is real visionary work. It's really like opening up your ability to catch the grace. When we get down into cat-cows, it's very technical. I mean, all of it's very technical, but it's very like just strike a match, just play for heat, just go into your basement, just turn on the boiler, just pump the breath so that it doesn't get too stale or stagnant. And inhale, exhale. You can have the eyes closed. You could keep the tongue on the palate where you say love or lovely just to connect the currency that's rising up from the groin to the heart to the imagination. Good. And this is about heat. So you don't strike a match by going slow. You strike a match by going nice and quick. So I like to shift, if you're in Virasana especially, I like to eventually shift so that my hands hold on to my heels. Turn this down so you can see it. And then I can go nice and fast here. And so that's another connection, and you can change it. You can hold this way, you can hold, I like to hold inward. Good. So keep going, keep pumping away. Any hand variation is good. If you have your hands on your knees, wherever you're making contact, you're just using your hands to handle it. You're using your ability to augment your stability, right? If you're trying to play for heating yourself up, you don't strike a match by just throwing it on the ground. You have to use your ability. You have to use your hands to hold the thing, right? So use something in your hands to hold as you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And notice too is if as you're playing for the bottom floor, you're like whipping your head back and forth. And again, it's just a noticing. So a piece of you can play with always, using the head. But what if you isolate it? So now it's just your low body. What if it's just the low body making this motion forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back? What if the head didn't have anything to do with it? What if you took your imagination and your stability, your imagination and your capacity all the way down? So all you're focusing on right now is your ability to make heat. Your ability to go into the basement, the boiler room, to strike a match, to play with some heat. Your ability to build that fire. Good. We're going. And the thing about this one, just as a structural thing, as you build your own practice, it will behoove you to stay here for longer. This is a big floor. When you're at the very bottom floor, when you're playing with the depths, when you're playing with water that goes deep, it takes a little longer to clean up that space. So I would say stay in the basement, not for too long, because we don't want to stay in the basement for too long, but long enough that you're able to heat it up, long enough that you're able to start to feel the heat rise. Good. So we've been doing that one for a while. Let's start to play with circles. So first we play with a match, first we play with heat, then we start to stir it up. Jokingly, we would say this is like, make sure you flush your toilets. Now we're playing with water. Connect your breath here. So if you're just circling without the breath, it won't be as effective. So there's an inhale and an exhale and an inhale. And all of this is a pranayama, even though we're moving. All of it is playing for breath. So first we strike a match, go back to forward and back, forward and back. First we play with heat. First we play with a spark. And then we play with water. When you play with fire, you have to know how to play with water. Good. Go the other way. Circles. Good. And you're made of all of those things. So a piece of you needs to play for heat. This is how we keep from stagnating. And then as we circle around, we're playing a bit with the kidneys. And a piece of us needs to know how to play with the kidneys. The kidneys are connected to the ears, which play for stereophonics. They play for surround sound. Good. So find the circle around you. Good. Hear the sound of your breath. Connect your hearing to your breathing. And then, of course, when you know how to put a pot of water on a well-lit fire, you get steam, you get alchemy. So keep coming forward and back, come back to your cat-cows. And what we're playing for isn't the individual elements. We're always playing for the alchemy. How do I play with fire and water? How do I play with effort and grace? In the magic square, 1 is where everything goes deep. 9 is where everything rises. And we're playing for our effort and our grace. Good. One more time, circle each way. We're not done. Good. Good. And you can always do these in hands and knees, right? When you wake up in the morning and then come back to a seat for some of the other work. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to be seated and I want a cat cow and I want to play hands and knees and I want to get just a little bit more out of the practice. So you just go back and forth between your circles and your cat cows. We'll go for 1 more minute here. And I say the metaphor and all of the other things because it's like, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I undulating my low body forward and back and forward and back? It's a little primal. It is primal and we are primal. There's a piece of us in these bodies, like Andrea Barrero said, that's been around for 130,000 years. So there's a primality to your body. There's a piece of your body that needs what it needs. Good. Almost done. 30 more seconds. Good. And this is an especially potent practice in winter because we really stagnate a lot in winter. Come back to cat-cows to finish this out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Really go for it this last 10 seconds. Really pump your breath so that the heat has a little bit of air because heat needs more than just a spark. It needs fuel, and heat needs air, right? A fire needs air and fuel. Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. Come back to center, anchoring that third leg down. Hook the thumbs overhead. Take a big breath in here. And then I want you to hold your breath at the top. Take a few more sips of air through the mouth. In. And then Mula Bandha. Pull in and up at the pelvic floor. Drop the chin gently. Let your shoulders soften. Take a few more sips of air. In. And just stay here for 5, 4, 3, and then as if you're shooting an arrow, or let's say steam rising out of the top of the head, exhale, release the hands down. You're going to bring your hands all the way forward to your knees or to the floor. You're going to take a deep breath in once you land. You're going to exhale all the way out for Uddiyana Bandha. Exhale, 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 exhale. This is not easy stuff, guys. This is super advanced stuff. So exhale, exhale, exhale. And then you're going to let your belly whip in and up. You can either just hold it for Uddiyana Bandha, or you can play with Naulis, where you whip the belly forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. Just about 8. Up. And then release the belly. Take a deep breath here. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale all the way out. With the eyes closed, just inhale. Imagine fire rising up behind you. Exhale, imagine water descending in front of you like grace given freely. This is the breath of the moment. As you inhale from 1 to 9, you imagine fire rising. With fire, we have to be vigilant. The nature of fire is to ascend. And as we exhale, we imagine water descending 9 to 1, like grace given freely. And then put yourself in the center as you inhale from the base of the pelvis to the crown of the head. So piece of you is in the middle of your effort and your grace. And exhale all the way out. Good. Take your hands, either make a fist bump behind the back or knit your hands together to the webbing or play for reverse namaste, whichever one is up to you. I know some of you just want to sit there and keep meditating. You'll even feel better once we play with all 3 floors or just go back to bed, right? So whatever, I'm doing this one today, right behind my back. And when you do it, let those thumbs open wide. I'm gonna giggle forever about Joshua Luna's thumbs not coming apart, but it's not a thumb thing, it's a shoulder thing. So pump the breath in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. I'll stay with the house metaphor for today. So we imagine we were in the boiler room. We were down where water goes deep. We were flushing those deep toilets down there. Good. And now we're going to play at the level of the garden, the level of the soil, the level of the home where the heart is the hearth on the left, the kitchen, the office on the right, the piece of you that makes your deals and, plans your work in the world, and room 5, the temple of your own right in the center. But more so, we're here at the level of the spleen and the pancreas and the stomach. I love your person, Fio. And the spleen, the pancreas, and the stomach, right? And this is our soil. So if the soil is too porous, water just moves right through it. If the soil is, or rather, water just gets soggy. If the soil is too dry, the water just moves through it. So we're cultivating good soil here, making sure it's just porous enough, not too dry, not too dense. And when I say soil, the metaphor is really the muscle of the body because the shoulders can become very dense in time. Good. Pause in the center. Exhale all the way out. Gently inhale left, right. You don't have to go too far yet. We're going to do a big one in a second. We're going to really rise up today. I have you for 4 more minutes. Can I do it? Sure. Good. So left, right, left, right, left, right. Inhale, exhale. Good. Come back to center. Take a deep breath in. We're going to keep going. Exhale, bring the hands down. Make 2 fists at the shoulders and then play for being punchy. Good. The next one will be open palms. So we're going to play for a little bit being punchy and a little bit being more receptive. But this one is actually one of my favorites. First of all, it feels like you're dancing. Second of all, it's playing on every floor. So pubic bone is going forward and back. You're opening up the heart and the back of the heart. Good. And you can let the head kind of play with you a little bit here as you go forward and back. You're receiving light. You're tilting in. And in life, it behooves us to be punchy. It behooves us to find ways to really, really like get ourselves going, move our energy forward. Good. Pause in the center, take a deep breath in, grab your shoulders, inhale, inhale. Sit up very, very tall for this. No slouchy slouch. If anything, tip forward to the pubic bone a little bit so that your back is a little curved. You're going to inhale left, exhale right. Go as far as feels good to your body today. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. And this is the piece of you that's giving a little nod to the fact that there's 24 hours in the day. East is on the left, 6 a.m. West is on the right, 6 p.m. Not that directions have time, but in the body, we're playing with more than one thing often. Good. So you're inhaling on the east, exhaling on the west, inhaling 6 a.m., exhaling 6 p.m., inhaling the dawn, exhaling the dusk, inhaling first nature, exhaling into second nature. What do I want? Where am I going? How do I want to learn? And then come back to the center. Good. Take a couple circles with your elbows as you inhale, drawing them back and forward and up. Long inhales as you do this, and then go the other way. And then just to finish this out, you're going to open up the palms. You're going to tap the sternum as you find your Kapalabhati. So this is my favorite spring. I wanted to get to this one. This is my favorite spring cleaning exercise. This is really about like throwing shit out. Sorry, Theo. This is about throwing out your garbage, throwing out your, excess. What do you have excess of? What is there too much of? What is bogging you down? Get it out, 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 out. And in a sense, like how fast can you get it out? How quickly can you throw out your garbage? How quickly can you clean up your messes? So there's more time for other stuff because if you're cleaning up messes all the time, it is not great for the spirit, right? So keep going. If you're a mom, I think it's different, but that's okay. Good. Stay here for 20, 19, 18. Out, 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 out. Flip the palm. Deep breath in. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hook the thumb overhead. Hold it. Take another breath if you let it go. Pull in and up pelvic floor, dropping the chin. Feel the capacity inside of you as you expand your capacity to hold air, to hold life, to hold experience, to hold vision. Take another breath here. Inhale. Bring the hands behind the head as you exhale. Throw the elbows forward and up. Big breath. And as you exhale, curl into it, stretching a bit here, tucking the tail under. Two more like that. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Big breath. Exhale. And then with your hands knit together to the webbing, press your palms overhead. And just to seal this practice, breathe in up your back, making your efforts today. Exhale down the front, have that palm open and available to catch the grace, to see what's given freely today. Take one more breath, knowing that there's always effort. And as you exhale, release the hands down, let the palms flip onto the thighs so that you can catch grace, which comes down like water and is given freely. If all we did was think it was about working hard, we would burn out. If all we did was think that everything is grace, we would get soggy and damp and watered down. But when we know how to play with our alchemy of fire, effort, you're just breathing slowly here, and water, grace. We know that there's an alchemy of steam, and steam is locomotion. Steam gets things going. Steam gets things moving. Good. That was a bit more of an active practice today. You could always seal it by bringing right and then left hand over the heart center. And as you breathe here with your Ujjayi breath, there is a piece of you all day long listening inward to your own heart, to your own gut, to your own mind. There's a piece of you open and receptive and paying attention to the synchronicities and the goosebumps and the things that feel good. There's a piece of you today paying attention to when you should go one way or the other, keeping a good calendar, showing up. And the more we know how to show up, the more we know how to be where we're meant to be, the more grace we receive. It would behoove all of us to sit for a little bit longer, just to let our heart rate come down and find a slow, deep breath in and out. So you can let the hands rest. What I'll do though is I'll end the meeting. If I had you for longer, I would have you do alternate nostril breathing or just slow, no breathing meditation if you have like 2 minutes, play for that. But I'll try to stick to my contract time. So, sending you guys a lot of love. I can't wait for Thursday night, which is tomorrow. So, I'll see you tomorrow night for the anatomy. And I can't wait for this weekend. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.